So Quicksilver is the fan favorite of many. Much surprise. Not really. Now, after his debut in Age of Ultron, wrong one. Days of Future Past, many have been speculating how fast the dude's maximum speed is. But the new X-Men Apocalypse kinda shows that Quicksilver can really kick it up a notch this time around. Bear in mind, there will be spoilers for X-Men Apocalypse in this video, so if you haven't seen it yet, click away from this video, watch the film, then come back. Okay, good. We got that out of the way. So in the new film, Quicksilver is shown to be outrunning an explosion that came from an accident that Havoc created. The thing he blasted seems to be some sort of experimental airplane engine, and the area where the explosion took place was in the X-Mansion. The X-Mansion in Bryan Singer's new trilogy is played by the Englefield House down in the United Kingdom. The Englefield Estate is 20,000 acres, but that measurement is for the estate, not the house. This is the house. And this is the estate. So you can see the vast land compared to the tiny mansion. Just to show you a rough estimate, this is what 20,000 acres of land looks like. So let's use an enlarged image so I can make the mansion more visible. Here, this image displays only 18 acres of the 20,000. By adding more X-mansions to see and scale everything, we see that 26 Englefield houses is 1/8 of 18 acres. This means that 208 of them make up 18 acres. So dividing 18 by 208, one X-mansion covers 0.086 acres, or 349.62 square meters. Now keep that in your head, because we'll come back to that. In finding the speed of the explosion, there really is no telling of what kind of explosion it was. Or is there? What we can do is range the data through detonation velocities of various explosions. According to the wonderful page of Wikipedia, the explosive that has the lowest detonation velocity is Silver S-Side, traveling as fast as 4,000 meters per second. And the fastest one is Octi? Yeah, that. It moves at a whopping speed of 10,100 meters per second. So really we have a wide gap of which Quicksilver speed could range from due to the uncertainty of the explosive. Well then, is there any way we could exact the speed, you ask? No, video's over. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really hope you liked it. Just kidding, of course there is, you sexy viewer, you. Now I'm trying to avoid as much copyright as possible, so I won't be able to use most of the footage from the actual scene. The thing we're gonna use though, mostly, is actually one of the first things we see at the beginning of the scene. A bee. You see, bees tend to flap their wings 230 times per second, and in observing the most recent Quicksilver scene, we witness a bee go through 3 flaps as time slows down. The first cycle takes 3 seconds, the second 6 seconds, but the third is cut off as the camera pans up to reveal Quicksilver walking into the scene. Since he is clearly shown walking into frame, the film suggests that the third cycle is the definitive perception of time of which Quicksilver sees the world. Now assuming that the change is consistent and that the cycle doubles in value, then the bee should take 12 seconds to finish the third cycle, meaning the bee takes 12 seconds to flap its wings once, and Quicksilver slowed down time. Now that we know this, we can use one flap per 12 seconds and relate it to real time. By multiplying it by 230 over 230, since an average bee flaps its wings 230 times per second, we find out that 1 second for us is 2,760 seconds for Quicksilver. And this is basically the key to finding out much more about the speedster. With the average human reaction time being 0.25 seconds, dividing that by 2,760 would give us Quicksilver's reaction time, which is 0.09058 milliseconds. That was not really relevant to the topic, but just thought it would be cool if you knew. Just tell us, or the answer already, you stupid hoe. The song Quicksilver is listening to throughout the scene is Sweet Dreams by Eurythmics. Only 146 seconds of that song was heard until the scene cut back to real time. With that much of the song played and Quicksilver's perception of time, the time needed for the first 3 people in front of the explosion, Mystique, Beast, and Moira, to be saved by Quicksilver is 0.05 seconds. It's only the 3 because they were the closest to the explosion, and the velocity of explosions increase as time goes on. So we know that the mansion covers 349.62 square meters, and Quicksilver only had 0.05 seconds to save the closest mutants. In this sense, it's 349.62 square meters per 0.05 seconds. Dividing both the numbers by 0.05 converts this measurement to per second instead of per 0.05 seconds. Doing so, the detonation velocity turns out to be 6,992 meters per second, around the velocity of the infamous TNT. With this value in Quicksilver's multiplier, Quicksilver had to have been moving at 19,297,920 meters per second. That is supposedly how fast Quicksilver was running. Supposedly. But if you watch the scene again, you'll notice something. In some parts of the scene, when Quicksilver speeds up or becomes so fast he just becomes a blur, time speeds up as well. This makes sense since he should only appear fast in real time, with the explosion exploding at 6,992 meters per second, not the extended number of minutes it did in the film. But there are multiple shots of Quicksilver speeding up, even in slow motion. Bruh, he was in super speed while in super speed. That is true. This could potentially be his maximum speed, as his facial expression suggests that his body is experiencing some muscle strains when he's running super fast while in super speed, as opposed to him just running at normal speed while in super speed. Ugh, try saying that phrase 3 times fast. Anyways, his face under ×1 super speed gives him a more I'm having fun look, whereas here it gives a more this is difficult kind of vibe. Because he can use super speed while in super speed, Quicksilver's speed gets a ×2 multiplier, making his fastest speed shown on screen to date 38,595,840 meters per second, or Mach 112,524. Now that is crazy fast. A little over a tenth of the speed of light. A tenth may not sound like it's a lot, but dude, that is surprisingly and amazingly quick. He probably got faster due to post-puberty. I mean, with the film taking place a decade after Days of Future Past, it only makes sense. Wait a minute. How old is he? No, seriously. How old is he? How old is everyone in this cast? How old am I? Where am I? But seriously, that is physically impossible. Not because he is able to run so fast, I mean, that's the least of our worries, but because he was able to save the mutants at that speed. When he threw the students out of that window at that speed, the whiplash should have had severely injured them if they miraculously survived that throw. The people he threw out the window should have landed somewhere in China. I'm exaggerating, of course. Maybe somewhere in India. Not China. So what do you guys think about the newest Quicksilver scene? I honestly never thought that they would make Quicksilver on screen this overpowered. Finding out how fast he was and how fast he processed things just now makes me question why he didn't see that knockout tech thingy Stryker used on him after the explosion. Probably just to further the plot. Hey, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, you nerd. Anyways guys, if you liked this video, then click that subscribe button. And if you really like this video, then check out my other content ranging from a versus series to trailer analyses to movie reviews.